What's up, folks? This is Kenny with Just the Right Angle, doing a live stream. I try to do a live stream every day at 12:35. I've actually had a few little traveling, had to take care of a few errands, so slightly missed the time I usually start, but that's okay. You can find me at Twitter, Just the Right Angle. I'm sorry, Twitter Kenny _NLR, Just the Right Angle on Podbean and YouTube. Well, this will be made into a recording, as well as YouTube Keep Arkansas Legal, and also on Facebook. A lot is going on. For those who don't know, the RNC is doing their event. They're having their big convention down up over in Milwaukee. I had thought about going to that event, but was unable to do so. There actually was some issues regarding possible guest passes, and apparently there was some misinformation about who could go to that. But in any event, I'm here now to talk mainly about a lot of stuff that's going on. Probably the biggest news, besides the fact that a Democrat who registered as a Republican tried to shoot and kill the Republican nominee, President Trump, is the fact that there is now is that Trump picked his vice presidential candidate, which, by the way, they could have delayed and held off on had they, said, look, due to what happened with the president, we're going to have to hold off on any kind of decision. But no, Trump is still going along. The Trump campaign is still, working to win this election. And of course, they're still campaigning as though it's time to save this country. There's a lot of things I disagree with Trump on. As I've noted, I supported Ted Cruz a long time ago when the primaries first started way back in 2016, because I know that he had the better record. However, it appears that Donald Trump, upon entering the presidency, did do a lot of good, did make efforts to try to reduce the size and scope of government. There were some mistakes he made as presidency, but he is far better than any of the Republican nominees that were before us. Nikki Haley. DeSantis was a good choice, but he just wasn't as, in terms of just, doing conservative activities and having the ability to win the presidency, just was not capable of doing it. And his campaign was a bad campaign. So we are here now. They already picked Trump as the nominee. He got the delegate votes, however many to be the Republican nominee. And that's what we're headed to in November. Now, as far as I know, unless things have changed, the Democrat nominee is still senile, sleepy, pedo, whole crooked family Joe. And that's really sad, because Joe Biden should have first been put in jail decades ago, and probably should have been put in a mental institution probably about 5-6 years ago. He was, even when he ran for office, you could tell he was already out of it. He has been a constant liar, a plagiarist, already been bought off by the Chinese. Of course, his son has been a bagman for a corrupt group, Burisma, in Ukraine. Joe Biden's brother, Jack, has also been involved in corruption. Guy should have, like I said, if we had a real justice system, the guy would have been put in jail along with most of his family 20 years ago, long before Trump went down the escalator. But that's the guy that is in the White House pretending to be president, and that, so far as I can tell, is still going to be the Democrat nominee. Their convention is coming up in Chicago. It could end up becoming a riot, a literal riot, since the Democrat Party is the party of rioting. It's the party of violent rhetoric. But so far as I know, that's the plan. Well, folks, the group Stronger Arkansas, I'm about to be interrupted here, was one of the main things I wanted to talk about. I've talked about this group before. They had $200,000 that they had shown not being spent since in the last filing. Well, they just filed their most recent filing, and it shows that they spent close to almost all of the money they had, and it looks like almost all of it went to either Rumble Up, which is some LLC texting group in Washington, D.C., Axiom in Kansas City, Missouri, and then a group called Red Right Strategies. And they didn't spend anything on boots on the ground folks that were trying to be part of the Decline to Sign campaign that stopped the abortion amendment from getting on the ballot. Fortunately, the folks that did the abortion amendment messed up their affidavit, and so we're not able to get on the ballot. And so one other thing I wanted to show, that's what's kind of going in Arkansas, is, again, as I mentioned before, the violent rhetoric which led to the guy to shoot at Donald Trump. This is an example of the left being hypocrites. This is from Gina Carano, who was fired on Star Wars: The Mandalorian. And here is an actor named Jack Black who had joked about how one of their actors on The Mandalorian is promoting, at the very least, not backing down and calming the actual rhetoric on stage. And so, again, Disney, like many other companies, has a double standard when it comes to rhetoric, depending on political party. But anyway, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about today. Again, check me out, Just the Right Angle, on Rumble and on Podbeam, as well as YouTube, Keep Arkansas Legal, on Facebook. That's it. Y'all have a good day.
The title says JD